The Shearing of the Muse by AI Hairstyle Studio. The studio was a cavern of white light and sharp shadows, smelling of expensive espresso and ozone. Agnes stood in the center, her hair falling in heavy, chestnut waves down to the small of her back. It was her signature, her security, and lately, her cage. She felt the weight of it, not just the physical mass, but the expectation of being the pretty girl in every catalog. She checked her reflection, seeing a version of herself that felt increasingly like a costume. Then came the click of Italian leather on concrete. Sandro emerged from the shadows of the equipment racks, his presence as sharp as the lapels of his black blazer. He didn't offer a greeting. He hadn't since their breakup 2 years ago. Instead, he walked a slow circle around her, his eyes dissecting her image with the cold precision of a surgeon. "You've become a ghost, Agnes," he whispered, his voice a low vibration. "You're hiding behind all that dead weight. It's stifling the icon I know is underneath." Sandro reached out, his fingers catching a lock of her hair, pulling it slightly. The gesture was familiar, a ghost of the possession he once claimed over her life. He spoke of a new campaign, something raw and architectural, that would set the industry on fire. "They want the girl next door," he sneered. "But I want the woman who isn't afraid to be seen. Let me strip this away. Let me give you back your face." Agnes felt a shiver. It was a terrifying invitation to let him reshape her once more. Her phone vibrated on the vanity. A message from Liam. "Dinner at 7. I'm making the pasta you like." Liam was her anchor, the man who loved her for her stillness, her stability, and yes, her beautiful hair. He represented a world where she didn't have to be a masterpiece, just a person. To say yes to Sandro was to invite a storm into the quiet life she had built with Liam. She looked at the screen, then turned it face down. The hunger for relevance was a sharper ache than the need for comfort. "Do it," Agnes said, her voice steadier than she felt. Sandro's smile didn't reach his eyes. It was the satisfied smirk of a sculptor finally getting his marble. He guided her to a stark metal chair in the center of the room. He draped a heavy black silk cape around her neck, snapping it tight. The sound was like a finishing bell. He picked up a pair of professional shears, the blades catching the studio lights with a lethal silver glint. The first cut was a violent sound, a thick, wet crunch near the nape of her neck. Sandro worked with a terrifying efficiency. He didn't trim, he harvested. Long, heavy tresses fell to the floor, pooling like discarded silk on the white concrete. With every snip, Agnes felt lighter and more exposed. Sandro's breathing was rhythmic, synchronized with the movement of his hands. He was reclaiming his muse, piece by piece, shearing away the years she had spent away from him. Then came the hum. The electric clippers roared to life, a low industrial drone that filled the silent studio. Sandro set the guard to 1 inch. He started at her forehead, pushing the blades back through the remaining fringe. Agnes closed her eyes as the vibration traveled through her skull. It was an invasive, cold sensation. The air in the room suddenly felt freezing against the skin of her scalp, a sensation she hadn't felt in a decade. When the humming stopped, the silence was deafening. Sandro stepped back, dropping the clippers onto a side table. He didn't say a word as he unclipped the cape and shook it out. Agnes opened her eyes and looked into the mirror. She gasped. The woman staring back was all eyes and bone, fierce and unfamiliar. The softness was gone, replaced by a jagged, high-fashion edge. She reached up, her fingers grazing the velvet texture of her 1-inch buzz cut. She looked like a stranger, and she looked like a revolution. "Now," Sandro commanded, picking up his camera. "Work." The lights shifted, turning blue and harsh. Agnes moved with a new, feral energy. without the curtain of her hair to hide behind. Every tilt of her chin, and every flicker of her gaze was amplified. Sandro moved around her like a predator, the shutter of his camera clicking like a heartbeat. In this space, she belonged to his vision, a creature of his making, fueled by the electricity of their shared history and his artistic obsession. Late that night, Agnes walked out into the cool city air. She caught her reflection in a shop window and didn't recognize herself for a moment. Her phone buzzed again, Liam, asking if she was on her way. She ran a hand over her head, the prickly warmth of the short hair a constant reminder of the day's transformation. She had her career back, and she had her fire back, but as she headed toward the subway, she wondered if Liam would even know how to touch this new, sharpened version of the woman he loved.